Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode about the Marvel release slate for the upcoming Marvel movies, which has recently came out. Sorry, this video should have come out earlier, but problems with, my dad not getting the camera home in time and stuff like that. So I decided better late than never. So I'm going to talk about the Marvel release slate. If you didn't know, on Tuesday, a bunch of fans of Marvel and people who do movie talks shows and stuff who live in LA were invited to this giant press conference where they were going to announce the Marvel release slate. So how it went is, at first they said Captain America was going to be, as they opened it, they just had a bunch of release dates. They shortly filled it in. It went Captain America, Secret Society, shortly followed by, which actually isn't Secret Society, they made it Captain America Civil War. They have Doctor Strange. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is pushed up. Well, Doctor Strange is coming out November 4th, Captain America May 6th, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is pushed from its November release date to May 5th, 2017. Thor Ragnarok, July 28th, 2017. Black Panther, November 3rd, 2017, as well as they announced Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. Avengers Infinity War is going to be in 2 parts. It's going to be May 4th, 2018, part 1, and then in between those will be Captain Marvel, July 6th, 2018, shortly followed by Inhumans, November 2nd, 2018, and then finally part 2 of Infinity War will be May 3rd, 2019. What do I think about this release slate? Mind blown. Okay, let's start with Captain America Civil War. So when I first heard, when I first saw that it was Serpent Society, I'm like, Serpent Society? It sounds to me a little bit like there's another foundation like Hydra called Serpent or something like that. I'm like, okay, maybe adding another one. But then they announced Civil War. What do I think about this? Yes, shortly followed by Avengers 2, which is going to be a big Age of Ultron. Then we get Ant-Man, and then we get Civil War. I thought that this would be an Avengers movie, but they're bringing it into Captain America. And I think that this would be good before Black Panther, Captain Marvel, and Inhumans, because they can bring those 3 characters, or the team and then the other 2 characters, into that movie to fight. And I think that is very good. I'm so excited that it's Civil War, that we're finally getting Civil War. I thought that would maybe be an Avengers 3 thing, but instead we get that. I think that Civil War is a great idea. Shortly followed by Doctor Strange, November 4th, 2016. We were all speculating it was going to be around November 4th, 2016, or around November in 2016. And I love that they finally released Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is a really cool character. He's like a magician, but who can do real magic. Although I'm sort of confused why they didn't announce Benedict Cumberbatch as him. I thought that they would at that press conference. They'd say, okay, by the way, here is Benedict Cumberbatch. He is our Doctor Strange, guys. Yeah, like him. I'm just confused that they didn't bring out Doctor Strange, because I bet they already have Doctor Strange and they've had him for a while. And so they have Doctor Strange done, and then they announced Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for May 5th, 2017. I think that this is a very interesting that they bumped it up, but really nothing new there. They already announced it at Comic-Con. The only thing different is the move of the release slate. Also, Thor Ragnarok. It's crazy. In this release slate, we're going to have 4 giant films, which is Civil War, Ragnarok, and then part 1 and 2 of Infinity War. And I am very looking forward to Ragnarok. So I do not know a lot about Ragnarok, but what I know about Ragnarok, this Marvel storyline, is that it's sort of like Odin's staff that sort of controls everything, all 9 realms, is trying to be stolen by these people, and that it's supposed to be like an apocalypse, and Earth is in apocalypse, and all 9 realms, and that everything could be destroyed. And they said that it's going to have a big influence on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and on some of the fan art, it did say Thor Ragnarok, so I find that quite interesting. Shortly followed by Black Panther, November 3rd, 2017, and they did announce Chadwick Boseman. Black Panther, I'm very happy that we're finally getting an African-American superhero movie, and the interesting thing that I find about it is that they're opening it before Cyborg, and Cyborg was the first one to be announced as the first African-American led superhero movie, and I find that a little interesting, but it would make sense that they wouldn't put Captain Marvel in that one, because it's sort of like competing with Wonder Woman, because it comes out in the same year. and I believe around the same time. I'm not sure if it's the same time. I think that it's July that it's coming up, but still, putting it 3 months later would sort of be a competition. So I'm excited about him, and I think Chadwick Boseman is a great choice. I thought that he was amazing in 42. While I hated Get On Up, I thought that he was the best part about that movie, and he deserves an Oscar nomination, or at least some Oscar talk, and I thought that he was very good, so I'm happy with those two. And then Avengers Infinity War Part 1 and 2. First off, the rumor about Avengers 3 being split into 2 films is true, and I just wanted to say that because I heard it weeks before. So I'm very excited about Avengers Infinity War being split in 2 parts because it's a very big cinematic scope of the whole gems and Thanos stealing them and all this stuff. Although I'm surprised it's Infinity War instead of Infinity Gauntlet. Although I don't really know the difference between them. I bet there's a big difference, but honestly I don't know the difference between them. I thought that they should have done Infinity Gauntlet because that's what everyone was talking about. But hey, at least we get Thanos for, you know, part 1 and part 2. I think that splitting them in 2 parts would be good because I heard Infinity War is a big cinematic thing. It's giant, it's 6 parts, and, you know, trying to shrink that down into 1 film I think may have been a little difficult. Putting it into 2 films not only builds up anticipation for Captain Marvel and Inhumans, but, you know, part 2 as well. People will definitely want to see part 2. And hey, the final Harry Potter film is the most money made, with it being the, I believe, 4th most money-making film of all time. Anyway, so we got those 2. And then Captain Marvel, July 6, 2018. I think that this is great that they're having their first female-led superhero movie, and about a year after Wonder Woman, so people won't say, oh, they're just trying to copy off of Wonder Woman's success, because I believe Wonder Woman will definitely be successful. And I think that this is very, very, very good. I think that, honestly, they haven't announced who they're going to announced yet, but I think that maybe Katie Sackhoff or Emily Blunt would be a good choice. I'm not sure if Jennifer Lawrence would, because eventually by then I think Jennifer Lawrence will have, a lot of people would have watched her. A lot of people would, you know, because the same thing has happened with Anne Hathaway, where people are just like, hey, don't really like her that much. But yeah, so I'm not sure that she would be the best. Plus, she's in everything these days, so well, not everything, but she's definitely popping up a lot. I think that Katie Sackhoff or Emily Blunt would be a good choice. And then, of course, Inhumans, announced for November 2nd, 2018. I think it's a very interesting synopsis about how, you know, aliens are, you know, taking humans and investigating them, and, you know, end up giving them powers. And I think that that's very interesting. I think that bringing it in, it's sort of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where it's a band of misfits. You don't really know a lot about them, although I did read a Wikipedia page, so I do know a bit about them. Although I'm not sure how they're gonna, you know, handle how powerful Black Bolt is, because when Black Bolt talks, you know, cities are destroyed. So, but honestly, I love this release slate, and I think that this is an amazing release slate. Anyway, that is it for the video. If you have any questions that I will definitely answer on Robert's Movie Talk, just email me at pixar206@gmail.com, and this is Robert Burks of Robert's Movie Talk.